So a little while back, we played a nifty little game by Arc Digital called Mars Horizon. And it was a lot of fun. Sort of took us through history, right? With the space program and everything. Well, they have, you may have known, I don't know, a big expansion, free update coming called Expanded Horizons. And, well, let's just say I've partnered up with Arc Digital to show you a little bit of it. Yeah. So not only do I have to give a special thank you to them for sending me out a copy early, this comes out June 22nd, but they also gave me a custom save file to work with. I kind of requested, I was like, how do I present this if I need to be late game to do it? I don't have the time to build myself back up. Well, they're like, hey, how about try this? So we've got a save file here, and I would like to show you a little bit of the new stuff. So, obviously, the date is 1958. Somehow we have tons of money. Somehow we have tons of research, etc. And we've unlocked every mission. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that a lot. So, coming in this update, there's two main big missions. We have new mission types, of course, as well. There's a sandbox mode, highly requested thing. You can kind of just do whatever you want. There's also an Iron Core mode. It's an Iron Man mode. It'll save after every single turn, etc., right? Lots of cool things, but there's two big missions, and I'd like to show you those in this video. The new mission and payloads for Mars Perseverance, and that includes the Ingenuity helicopter. It's kind of exciting. So let's go into Mars and check it out really quick. And it's this new mission here, Mars Prep, Mars Exploration. Now, this technically ambitious mission involves sending our most advanced rover to explore Mars for evidence of past habitability, and includes a revolutionary rotorcraft. The rover will collect and catch samples of the Martian surface, which will be retrieved by a second lander and returned to Earth via specialized ascent rocket. There are 5 phases to this mission. It takes 28 months total. So the transfer trajectory is the first phase. Second phase is your course corrections. Third phase is your Mars descent and rover deployment. And this is considered a formidable mission, of course. Then we have the Mars Ascent, which takes place just like, I don't know, about 9 months or so after the third phase. Mars Ascent, and then finally achieving Earth orbit and all that stuff. So there you go. So let's take a look really quick and see what we get for this. So we're gonna plan this, and we gotta select the payload, of course. And we have Perseverance. Oh, it's right there. Oh, it looks so good. We've got navigation, comms, and power pretty much here. You know me, I like to really up that reliability a lot. And I think I'm going to pay for the increased power because I can afford it. Thanks, guys. So we're going to go for that. Now we've got more info. If you're interested in these screens for it, you can see all of these things. And if you're not familiar again with the game, if you're kind of like, what's all these screens? Click the link in the description. We did a full playthrough on this game. We had a lot of fun with it. So check that out. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and select this as our payload with power. The increased build cost. We're gonna select and go back to the solar system, and then we'll just, I don't know, I don't think we have any research to do. They pretty much unlocked everything for me, so it's I'm really gonna focus on this. Capturing a Martian descent, your PR team have proposed attaching several additional cameras to your Perseverance rover and the sky crane that will lower it to the surface of Mars. The cameras will be able to capture the dramatic descent in high resolution, increasing public engagement with the Mars Prep, Mars Exploration mission. Your engineers believe that they can integrate the cameras without impeding the payload systems, but the work would require additional funding. Add the cameras. $200,000 for cameras. That's fine. All right, I've zoomed ahead and our payload is complete. So here's Perseverance. Looks pretty good. Looks like we got a increase in cost. So it's a good thing they gave me all that cash. So we are going to design, of course, our new vehicle. We'll go with the upper stage, and I guess we'll just select probably just the biggest and baddest things, right? I think might as well make the rocket as big as possible. We'll take the biggest booster we can get. We can even do supplementary just to really make sure we get this good. Obviously, in your own save, you would probably do things that would be within your budget. But since I have an infinite budget this time to show you the mission, I'd like to go ahead and do that. And we're going to just call this one awesome because it is. There you go. And let's go ahead and confirm this. It's a pretty pricey vehicle. Good thing we have great reliability, huh? Let's skip ahead. All right, I've added a couple of buildings here that will help me show off the other things that I wanted to show off to you guys while our Perseverance stuff is happening. So I've added mission control, a research lab, and a vehicle hangar, and I'm in the works of doing a vehicle assembly building too, just because. But this is going to give us an extra mission slot. And the next thing I wanted to show you guys was, well, they've added a Wyvern reusable vehicle, basically. They've added the Wyvern upper to unlock that. So we're going to go ahead and select a satellite payload of some kind. We'll go ahead and just do this, and we'll build a new payload for a satellite. And let's just go ahead through this stuff. We'll go to the next month. And satellite imaging for the payload is complete. Let's go ahead and select the vehicle design. So the upper stage, what we can do now, if we'd like to, is select the Wyvern upper stage. I think I just had it selected right here. Yes. So we've got the Wyvern upper stage and the lower stage booster. So all of these things are in there now. And I'm just going to leave it as Goliath. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and confirm this. And we'll hit the build vehicle button here. So we've got the new Wyvern, and we have our Mars Perseverance mission all happening alongside each other. So we'll just go ahead and do all of the things that the game asks us to do to have the best reliability possible, and we'll continue. All right, so here's the vehicle completed for our Goliath, aka the Wyvern, and we're gonna go ahead and maybe set, I don't know, we can set some focuses. How about some science focus and a launch date? Actually, January seems fine, so we'll go ahead and do that. Confirm the mission setup, and off to the solar system we go. But before we do that, our Mars prep is actually done in the same month. How about that? And we're gonna hit next notification. Here we go. So satellite imaging is ready to rock. Somehow, even with infinite funds, the USA is only 4 months behind us. It's because I didn't start it until a long time. All right, so we're going to launch the mission, and let's see how we do with this. Well, given that it's raining, we may not do very well, but I can reschedule it. It's fine. I don't need to beat the United States or anything. We can do it at the same time as them. That's fine. There we go. Okay, let's go to the next event. Round and round we go. There we go. Satellite imaging. Let's rock. So presumably this is a reusable rocket. So I'm really interested to see how that phase goes. And I don't see anything different with the UI that tells me it's a reusable rocket. So I'm a little bit kind of like, I don't know, but let's see. Oh, I missed these cinematics, man. It looks solid. No, they did a really good job on the art. I still want to see a real launch. I haven't seen a real launch yet, like in real life. I want to go to a launch and see, right? I just need it. Need that in my life, okay? All right, so all the things, good. Wyvern upper stage, Wyvern booster, all that stuff. We're not going to auto-resolve it. No, I want to see all the cinematics and stuff. Now, if you've never seen this game before, this is a puzzle, right? So we need to achieve Earth orbit. There are a variety of different objectives that we need to complete in this, as well as a power limitation. The goal is to basically get these modules in this quantity to pass the objective. If you can do it in this quantity, which is typically double what the requirements are, you get a 50% bonus reward for all reward elements of the mission. So essentially you spend some resources, in this case power, and you can also spend the other resources to trade for resources too. So for example, if I wanted to use my power to get this, actually let's get this. So I can get 3 of these, which are data modules. There's comms, and then there's navigation. I can then trade 2 of these if I'd like to. I already have the check mark. I can trade 2 of these and get 2 of each of these, which would give me the check mark here. I could then theoretically spend more power to get this, and then that would be my turn. There are 4 turns remaining, and there's an RNG, aka random number generator, chance to fail each one of these If we get into the red when it goes, like that did, then we fail that objective, and we usually have to incur an additional cost in order to accept it. In this case, we can resist the failure and spend an additional power, or we can just accept the result, in which case an additional data module will be spent. So I'm going to use the power for this. This is typically why I like to spend extra money on the power stuff. If we were to get into the green area for any of these, that's sort of like a crit success as opposed to a crit failure. And then we'll get a bonus module, or we would get one of these bonus resources usually at that point. So I can go ahead and spend, again, this gives me 4 for this, and then I can spend power, bring it up to here if I'd like to. Now I'm running low on power, so next turn I might want to use the recharge function to get additional power. And mostly I'm showing this as sort of an explanation in case you've never seen the game, because of course there's going to be people out there who have never seen the game before. I don't want you to be lost on what's going on. So right here we have 3 check marks. We're good. We could just complete the task, but if I want the bonus, I can spend a little bit more. So let's recharge, spend for this, and looks like I'm going to have to spend 1 more. So if I can get this, and spending all that power, if I can manage to do these successfully without failure, then I will have all that I need for the bonus objective here. So we recharge once to get additional power, and then we spend that power on this objective, and we get crit success. So we got into the green module that time, which gives us an additional navigation. And that's going to get us the bonus objective. There are multiple difficulties to the game, of course, and the harder the difficulty, the better the... wow, sorry, I got speech blocked by this amazing graphic. Oh, yeah, baby. I love it. It's the first time I've seen that. It totally speech blocked me. I don't even remember what I was talking about, dude. That's freaking cool. Obviously that's like, inspired by SpaceX, and of course I still love you and all that stuff. So, but it's nice. I really appreciate that graphic. That's awesome. Okay, but you know what else is awesome? Our Perseverance rover mission is underway. Yeah, we have 8 more months in that. So I'm just gonna skip to the event here. I don't really care necessarily about the satellite. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna set our date for the mission. And looks like we have just not a lot. Yeah, we're going to Mars. We kind of have to have the right transfer window. I might have bypassed it a little bit. We'll go to August here for this. Let's select the date and confirm the setup. There we go. And now we just have to wait. We have 13 more months for our launch, I guess. I messed that up. I think the graphics here have changed a little bit, huh? I don't remember these moons being in here. That's kind of nice. I mean, I know it has 2 moons. I know Mars does, but I don't remember them being shown on the screen from before. So that's kind of interesting. It'd be cool to like visit one of them and have a mission that visits one of them. Because if you've never seen this before, there's also Jupiter, Saturn right here. You can do all sorts of missions to a variety of different things. Again, link in the description will get you through the full playthrough. It was a joy. If you like games like this, if you're really interested in the history of space exploration and things like that, I think you'll really enjoy it. That's just my biased opinion, of course, but I think you'll really enjoy it. Okay, so we got a couple of months left until this is done. Usually you'd be doing a whole bunch of missions during this time, going to the moon and all sorts of cool fun things, but we are focused entirely on Mars for this video, with the exception of that sweet, sweet booster. Had to see it. Okay, let's launch the mission. And I'll take you through this entire mission. We won't skip ahead or anything here because it's just awesome. It's raining, it's terrible weather. We're gonna have to reschedule the launch for September, looks like. So there we go. We'll go to the next month. And we'll hope that the weather is kind to us. It does appear to be pretty kind. So we have 99% launch reliability. I overspent for this to get that. So let's go and watch that 1% failure. I swear to God, dude. if you fail. Looks pretty badass. Now, if we get into the green for the launch, we'll get additional perks and bonuses during the mission. So it's really cool to get positive events during launches, because a lot of times these events can persist through every stage of the mission, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, we're just going to get right the normal luck here, if you will, normal success chance. And we'll go ahead and continue this. The first phase is the, obviously, the transfer trajectory. I was going to say the sending it off to Mars, but yeah, transfer trajectory is the more proper term. Now, in this case, we have thrust as a resource, and every turn we're going to lose 1 thrust. So if you haven't paid attention to this part yet, I haven't really explained it much. We have 5 commands per turn, and there's an event that happens at the end of the turn. In this case, we're going to lose 1 thrust. So we might build it up to 6, but at the end of the turn, we'll lose 1. Now we're down to 5, and it's like, uh-oh, we failed. So we need to have enough thrust for this too, and to bypass this. So the idea is to get 6 navigation modules. 6 navigation resource and 6 thrust. We have 9 power to spend to do this, which is convenient since I really just needed to go, I guess we'll go bam, bam, bam. And then we can get 4 thrust here, which -1 will bring us down to 3. But if I hit this twice, we can now have 8, which it'll bring us down to 7, which is okay. We have more than enough power to deal with this. Plus, we're going to have additional nav next turn too, and that will allow us to get even more, comms. We're going to have more bonus comms. Yeah, this will be fine. We only have 2 turns here, so we have to do it really efficiently. Which is why it's really nice to have great reliability. Less chance for failures. Less chance. Not 0 chance. Less chance. It can happen. Oh, good success. An extra data module, very useful. There we go. And I'm just going to click through a little bit. Barely success. That's why it's important to have those good percentages. Now, it took away a thrust at the end of the turn. This is the last turn. If we do not satisfy the objective by the end of this turn, we fail the whole mission. So, gotta have that. This is the most important thing, is making sure that these 2 check marks are marked. If you can't get the bonus, doesn't matter. As long as there's 2 check marks here at the end of this turn, which notice we're not losing thrust here. So it's the last turn you don't have the failure condition, or you don't have that little extra condition at the end. So we're going to go and spend the extra 2 comms that we have to get this. That will satisfy the requirements, and that's really all that matters, is the requirements. However, if we can get more, I say, why not get more? So since I have to get to 11 here, that means I'm going to have to try and hit this button. We're going to spend this and then this. That's going to get us to 11, and then I can hit this for the 4 thrust. And this is going to bump us over the mark. So we're going to have more than enough nav, and we're going to have enough thrust for the bonus objective. We also have spare power, important. In case we do fail, we can spend the additional power to offset anything that's a problem. So for the last action, I'll just go ahead and recharge. The recharge actions always happen first, just so you have them at the beginning of the turn. And if we fail anything here, we can go ahead and resist it. Very nice, very nice. Okay, all things good. Bonus objective completed. So there are like 5 phases to this, and we get the bonus reward. That's usually related to money or support or research. Those 3 resources are what you see at the top of the screen here. You have credits or funds, research, and support. Again, a better explanation of these things will happen at the beginning of the series, which is linked in the description down below. I'm going to keep referencing that because sellout. Sellout for my own stuff, though. That doesn't count. So the next phase of this is just 3 months away, and that's where we're probably going to have to correct our transfer a little bit. It looks like, wow, look at this, huh? China's already like rocking. Out they go, huh? Cool, huh? So let's go to the mission, Mars Prep overview. We can go ahead and continue. If we have a really high probability of success, we can also choose to auto-resolve it. And in this case, we have a huge chance of success. It's 99%. But I like to play the missions. I think they're fun. So we're going to play them. All right, phase 2. Again, it's just a transfer here, or just an orbital adjustment here, most likely, a mid-course maneuver, whatever it's called. I think all of those are correct. Now, in this case, we have to deal with a new thing, and that's drift. So we have this right here, or I guess it's a modifier fluctuating drift, yes. So it's going to increase or decrease up to, but not necessarily by, -2 or 2 at the start of the next turn. This is our drift here, and at the end of the mission, we need to be exactly on that course. So we have to put it exactly there, otherwise we're gonna miss, right? So that's the thing. We need to equal 0. Currently, we started at 1, which is the reason why we're doing the maneuver in the first place. We're off, right? We need to course correct. So we need 8 comms, 10 data, 3 thrust, which again, we're going to lose thrust at the end of the turn. And then the extra resource we can use is navigation if we'd like to, starting with 9 power. So I think the first thing we're going to look at here, I tend to look at this as a drift control, because it's primarily we have to have the right drift. And generally speaking with drift, when drift is involved, the regular objective is a little bit easier to get, but the bonus objective is pretty difficult usually, but you can get it. Depends on the difficulty you're playing, of course. So if I spend 2 power here, I get halfway to my requirements for comms, but I also adjusted my drift by 2 in this direction. Now there is a way to bring it back by 3 right here if I have data modules. So if I wanted to, I guess I could get 2 power here, or 1. If I spend 1 power here and the 2 comms, then I get 6 data, and then I can spend this to bring it back right away. Or I can opt to spend 2 power. I'll drift again back to the left here. I'll bring the drift back by 1. But then if I hit this, I'll have it too far, which is okay with me because this is going to move anyway. So the goal is just to keep it in the general area for the first turn. You don't need to get it right on the money the first turn because it's going to move on you. So first turn, we focus on all of these objectives instead. So I can undo my actions with the undo button if I'd like to, or just do a complete reset here. And we can analyze sort of what the best call is if we want to get the bonus objective here. Now, I'm thinking I do want comms, so we're going to do that. I'm going to do this one instead to spend those comms to get a massive amount of data modules. And then I think I'm going to spend my power once more to get my 4 comms. Then I'm going to bring it back using the excess data modules that I just got. That gives me my objective, but I don't get the thrust. Need to make sure I have the thrust. So I'm going to spend this, and that gets me more than enough thrust so that when it goes -1, I can bring it down to 3. That means next turn, I don't have to worry about thrust. That's one less thing I don't have to worry about next turn. If this thing decides to drift -2 now, it puts me right on the money, and then I don't have to worry about that either. Pretty cool. Let's see what happens. So it comes all the way up. We're going to get a crit success, which is good. It's going to give us 2 additional comms, which is one of our required objective points. So perfect. Exactly what we needed. We'll complete that one. If you want to speed these up like I'm doing, you can just simply click and it will do it for you. This is going to give us an extra data module. Fantastic. And if you're interested in getting the game yourself, this is so much more rewarding when you do it yourself. These are very late game things, so the process and the journey through the space program to get to this point, right? Ooh, wow, we had a failure. 1% chance, man, it can happen. So it looks like it's going to take away one of the nav mod. I have spare power, I'll just do it. All right, so let's see what this drift does. Takes away a thrust. And it drifted 2 in the opposite direction. Okay, no big deal. We know that we're going to have to spend for these 2. We know we have to bring it back 4. This goes back by 3. This goes back. We have to do this. So we're going to click them both right now. That's going to bring this in line and this in line. Now, technically, we're good here. We've satisfied the requirements. That's it. But if we fail any of these objectives, we're not going to be able to resist it because we have no power. So I'm going to get at least 1 power, probably best to get 2 recharges, which means we have 2 actions available to get this bonus objective. Well, to get that, I suppose I can use that one of those spare power, I suppose, to get 6 of these. And then use, I'm going to need to get, I need to hit this twice, actually, so that's not going to work. Back up. Maybe we hit this. I need to hit this twice, but nah, I don't think there's a way to really get it. There might be. I don't need to spend the time trying to figure it out, though, because we have the bonus objective, or because we have the base objective. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this go. We have spare power to make sure we can resist anything that goes wrong. We have the thrust we need. Everything is fine. We don't necessarily need the bonus here, but I probably could have done that a little bit better to bring us into bonus territory if I... Yeah. See, you could fail. You totally can, no matter what the odds are. And we'll resist it with that spare power that we have. We've come prepared. There we go. And the final one. Perfect. Okay, so the objective's complete. No bonus, but okay, it's fine. For mid-course maneuvers, with statistics like I had before, I probably would have auto-resolved it if I wasn't trying to showcase this update. Probably would have auto-resolved it. Is 99% chance of success with a 25% chance of having a good bonus. Like, I think that's probably something I would have done. So anyway, we'll go to the next event. The next phase of our Mars mission. And again, I'm zipping through the game here, right? Like normally you would not go this fast. Things would not happen this fast. But I'm just focused on one single mission instead of having a whole bunch of things happening at once. It's a very satisfying thing when you earn your way to this point. Okay, so we have Mars Descent. Okay. Mars Descent this is it. This is the nerve-wracking part. This is the part everyone fears. Is the landing, all right? Takeoff, that's cake, okay? Transfer, getting out there, no problem. You've pretty much mastered that part, okay? The landing, that's the nervous part. That's where we hate it. All right, now in this case, we have -2 to 2 drift. We have a wider range here. We're a little bit more tolerant to shifts in where we're going. We don't have to be so precise, but it's still going to move on us. We have 4 turns for this, but we have less commands per turn. Navigation is the most important part of this. So while communications is important, navigation is even more important. So we have a bigger requirement for that. So let's take and we'll add... I have to look at what the trades are. Okay, I think I'm going to have this drift this direction. Then I'm going to get some navigation spent on here. Then I'm going to use this to bring it back. Then I'm going to drift it even more that way, I think. And hope that this thing corrects back to the right. This gets me a huge bump to nav in the first turn. And I'm 40% of the way to my bonus objective with comms here. So I like the progress that's been made on this turn. And I'm going to hope that the drift is in my favor here. Because bringing it back the other way, I'm kind of hamstringed a little bit more. So we'll let these puzzles carry on. A little animation for failures. Yeah, that happens. Now, it'll cost me an additional drift. Unless I spend on the event. This means that we're going to have to bring this needle even more this direction. I think the power is more valuable here than that, because there's more drift happening in future turns. So I'm actually going to accept the results here and let it drift one more that direction. So now it's -3. And we're going to have the roll, and it only went one more in this way. So the practical result of that is the needle drifted 2 to the left at the end of the turn, instead of drifting 1 to the left. No big deal. Okay. So we are almost a third of the way to the bonus objective here. I can get even closer by going like, let's go like this and like this. That brings the needle all the way over. We get a huge surplus of stuff by doing that. And then I think we're going to bring the needle back this way and then hit this again. Get even higher supply in that other one. I guess I could bring it. Nah, I don't want to get too far to the left. This is the biggest source though of nav. It's just what if it goes this way? Then I have to hit this twice next turn, which would kind of suck. But I can also pay for it up here, so maybe that's not a big deal. We're going to hope again that the drift is in our favor to the right this time, and let's see what happens. Dang you, game. Stop pulling at my heartstrings here. This thing spends way more time teetering the edge on the left side than it does the right side. Just saying. It really likes to low roll the percentages. I feel like there's a bias there. All right, so this time the needle didn't move at all, which is okay. That's within the tolerance of our plans, right? We're allotting for that. So it's actually probably a good thing. It could be worse. It could have moved this way, right? Okay, so we're getting super close. Let's go ahead and we'll pay for it here. Bring that needle back. I'm going to go ahead and get, I think, this one, and then follow it up with... I want to bring it back this way, though. But this might do it for me. Maybe we wait on that. Maybe we don't care. Tell you what, let's spend the power, and then we'll recharge. This gets us really close to the bonus here. We're already surpassing the bonus here. We get an extra power to account for failures, and maybe the drift just pulls it right in. Who knows? Let's just see. Oh, good. 5% chance. I don't know about that. I don't know, man. I feel like this is at least like a 10-20%, right? Chance. I mean, we're only rolling 4 times per turn here. So out of 12 rolls, we failed 3 times. Is that what just happened? Even if we failed twice in 10 rolls, it's still 20%, not 5. All right, last turn. It moved it into the range we need. So we don't have to touch drift, but our options of buying these resources without it are pretty limited. I can, if I want to, and I think I do, I think I would like to spend 1 power here to get 5 on the data, then spend 2 data twice. No. So the challenge with this part is that you really can't get nav in good quantities without dramatically impacting your drift, right? You can't get nav here without 3 drift in the right direction. You can't get 6 here without 3 drift in the opposite direction, etc. But we do have a little bit of tolerance here. So if I could move it, I need to get some of these to be able to impact this. So I need 2 power. And then I have to have some of these data. So I may not be able to get the bonus objective here. Again, there's like, if you had done things differently, there's a pretty good probability of getting these types of bonuses. It's usually the difference between, you know, focusing on one resource or another in a specific turn. So totally doable. I might have messed up somewhere. So I only need 6 of these. So if I can hit this button, I could satisfy that requirement. But unfortunately, I have to spend it to get it. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do this very well. And I don't want to adjust the needle. So I think what'll happen here is I'm just going to take it, because getting 6 here is going to move that needle too far. And I won't have the power once I do that to bring it back anyway. So I just don't have the power to really facilitate this, I don't think. So if that is the case, I'm just going to do a full recharge turn. We'll satisfy the requirements. We won't even have any rolls this turn, and we just complete it in the range. So let's just do that. So we're successful on this. The next task is rover deployment. So we're heading down. Now we're having to deal with drift once more. This time we're going to lose 5 every turn. It's going to come down 5 every turn. Reliably, it's that number. We have 6 actions, but only 2 turns. And this needs to get 8 to 9 in order to be successful. Great. most of our actions move the needle that way, but we do have a couple that will actually hurt us and move it back to the left. If we go too far, you know, we have that. So this gets me my data requirements right now. I can spend the data to move it up a little bit. I can spend the data to move it up again if I'd like to. And then I can also use power to get that up. And then I have to bring it back in order to get a bunch of comms, but it's probably worth it because it's a bunch of comms on the first turn. The last action, it would be really nice to bring this up higher because it's going to come back to 0 if I don't do anything. So I'm going to have to spend to get that thing up there. Now it's 8 now, but it's not going to stay there. So let's go ahead and confirm this. And we got to hope we don't have to spend any power on failures here because I don't have a whole lot of power for the next turn if I want to try to get the bonus. The objective, I think, is easily achieved right here. That's going to help. But I always shoot for the bonus. Always, you know. Just gotta do it. All right, -5 brings us to a 3 baseline. So if we can bring it up 5 this turn, we win, right? Easy. If we go too far, we do have some tools to bring it back. And I think I'm going to take and spend power for here to bring that up 2. We're over our bonus by 3, which means I can afford to spend a little bit to bump us up on the comm side. Let's go here. Yeah, let's go here, here, and here. And then we just need to impact drift by 1 in that direction. We can get away with 2, though, and that would be this one. So we can hit power for that. That brings us in range. And we satisfy all of our bonus requirements as well right now. So the best thing we can do is hit power so that we have something to resist a failure. And I think we have success. We definitely have success. Unless we fail twice right here, then that sucks. But I think we have... Wow, that's a 0. That would be a 0%. I think it actually said 1. But we have the power to resist it, so let's do it. And we're good to go. That would be very important. Because if that affected us adversely, we would have failed. So if that was a failure, what I should have done is kept power around, I think. It looks like I did have spare power. I must have miscalculated. It's there. It's on the surface. Perseverance is on the surface. Oh my gosh. Look at this thing. How many of you guys saw the flight? I mean, not see the flight live, of course, but how many of you guys have been paying attention to their Twitter and everything and seeing the pictures? And it's super exciting. Look at that thing fly. It can't fly very long, but it can fly just enough to be awesome. Oh my God, it's so good. I love it. I love it. Awesome. All right. Perfect. If you're not the people's favorite for space programs after that, then just, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing with your life, you know? Perseverance descent captured. The dramatic landing of your Perseverance rover on Mars has been captured in stunning full-color video, thanks to additional cameras attached to the payload. In the footage, which instantly went viral across the world, Perseverance can be seen being lowered to the surface by an elaborate sky crane system, a storm of Martian dust kicking up as the rover safely touches down. Your PR team are ecstatic with the results, as are agency engineers. The footage has enabled them to study in unprecedented detail the performance of the landing systems in the Martian atmosphere. As we zoom ahead even further, it says the Mars mission continues to astound. A striking image of your Ingenuity helicopter taking flight on Mars has featured widely across worldwide media. I think it's was. The photo was taken by the Perseverance rover and shows the small solar-powered helicopter outlined against a vivid Martian sky. Meanwhile, a sample retrieval lander launched as part of the same mission is due to land on Mars in a few months' time. The lander will use a compact Fetch rover to collect samples previously drilled and cached by the Perseverance rover before launching them back towards Earth. That is awesome. Now, of course, there's an ending phase to this where you can lift off and you have to come back to Earth and all that stuff. If you want to experience that part, you can do that all on your own. You can get the game, link down below for all that information as well. This is Expanded Horizons. It's coming June 22nd. Special thank you once more to Auroch for not only sending me this early and getting my hands on it, but also providing me with a kick-ass save file that lets me just get to the point. And I love that. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Like the video if you like it. If you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so. We've got over 2,200 videos here on this channel. I'm sure there's something you'll like. Take care. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.